Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Champions Berlin Semifinalist Press Conference. Today, we are joined by Acend. Press had the option to ask questions live or submit them ahead of the event. We will begin with pre-submitted questions. First question is for anyone from Acend and comes to us from Valorant Spa. A month ago, Acend faced defeat 3-1 in a head-to-head battle against Team Liquid. Will that experience be helpful in preparing for your upcoming matchup?
Yes.
Okay, since I'm the only one that likes to answer these kind of questions, I just wanted to say yes. And our team is very well prepared. After the loss of against Team Liquid, it could go either way. Our loss was it gave us a lot of experience, and I will send that question to Bonkold so he can answer again. Thank you.
Yeah, we faced them and we lost to Liquid 1-3. But I really feel like the things that we have been polishing the last few weeks, I actually feel like we stand a really heavy chance to actually beating them. We're going really confident in the matchup, and you're going to see a prime team Acend beating Liquid tomorrow.
Thank you.
Sheesh.
Thank you. Next question goes to Keznit from Upcomer. Is there anything you'd like to see changed in the next year of competitive Valorant?
Maybe more lanes, the World Cup. It's good to see international team fighting each other. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Keznit.
Thank you. Next question goes to anyone from Acend. Considering the latest release of Chamber, do you think he's strong enough for VCT? Is your team willing to play it in the near future?
We almost played it against Vivo Kids. I mispicked him, so it was a close, but I think it's a very strong champion, very useful traps, very useful TPs, like it's very strong. And I think we will see him 100% the next year.
Thank you. Next question is for Zeke from Run It Back. Do you feel the support of the Polish community of champions? How would you rate the involvement of Polish fans?
I would rate it 11 out of 10. I think Polish fans are really strong, even though there's not much of them. I think like Polish scene is still in CS, it's all over CS. And I appreciate every Polish fan that switched to Valorant and is, cheering us for me and Starks at Valorant Champions. I could see the support. Even the viewership is like in the peak of everything right now, and I feel like we might even grow the scene bigger because of our results. And just wanted to say, Polska Guru, thank you very much.
Thank you. Next question is also for Zeke from the Spike GG. You played almost all agents available in the game. I hope your Killjoy is waiting for the grand finale.
There was plans for me to play Killjoy on this tournament, but unfortunately, well, it didn't go well. So I'm very sad that because Chamber will be available in competitive play after Champions, I will need to actually play 2 more agents. So probably I'm switching to Sentinel next year. I think the team has already decided that. So
Yeah, I'm
just see you next year,
guys. So any team, please send DM.
Thank you. Next question goes to Bone Cold from Cybersport PL. It was a pretty solid victory by Team Liquid at the Red Bull home ground. The stakes here are much higher. What are some things taken from that loss specifically that Acend has worked on to ensure a different outcome at Champions?
I mean, I feel like we've been just working a lot on our fundamentals and our communication. I feel like just in game wise, I feel like we have everything to beat them or beat like any team in the world. But going against specifically Liquid, I really feel like they can be very easily readable on certain maps. And I feel like this matchup will heavily favor us. We're going extremely confident into the game. And I don't know, there's a lot of things Liquid can do against us. We've been preparing a lot, and it's going to be a nice matchup for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Our final pre-submitted question goes to CNED. How would you like to see Turkey have its own region in VCT 2022?
I think Turkey has a own slot in the next year. I hope, because there's a lot of talented players, and I want to play against them. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now open the floor for questions. Please use the Zoom hand raise feature if you would like to ask a question, and we will call on you when it is your turn. Please address your question to a player or players. First question from Upcomer.
Hi guys, congrats on reaching the semis. Acend is one of the teams that hasn't played Fracture yet. I'm just wondering what you guys think of the map.
Even though we haven't played Fracture yet on official games, I feel like our Fracture is very. We played a Fracture on like a month ago, but like not with our all the new stuff. I think we only played it 1 week after the release, but right now our Fracture looks really strong, and the only reason why we haven't played it yet because every team was either banning it or leaving bind behind, so we had to like either pick bind or something. Only against Team Secret we had like our map pool specifically picked for them. So that's why we haven't picked Fracture, even though they banned bind. But we are ready to pick it whenever, still in the tournament and in the near future.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Next question from The Click.
Hey guys, congratulations on making to the semifinals. I'd like to know your thoughts on KRÜ Esports. I mean, obviously nobody expected them to go on this monstrous run that they are currently on. And so what do you think of the team? How do you think they performed thus far? And yeah, and whether they have the potential to actually make finals.
Kilas, you should take this one.
Okay. Some days ago, like in another interview on Spanish community, I think I said if they play like on Prax, they can win the whole tournament. And I strongly believe that. Like they're insane players, they're insanely good, but sometimes on the stage they're getting a little bit of nervous, But if they continue like this, they probably can beat Gambit easily, I think.
Thank you. Next question from One Tap Valorant.
Hey, Bone Cold, my questions to you. You mentioned in a press conference a couple of days ago that you're seeking revenge on Liquid from Red Bull. Now that the match day is closer, how are you feeling? Are any nerves kicking in, or?
I mean, there's absolutely no nerves. I feel like I think I've been on Terror for the last few weeks. I feel like the whole team has come together in the nick of time, and I feel like we have everything that it takes to take down the full honeymoon Liquid. So I really just feel that that we are the strongest team right now in this world tourney. I feel like we will easily beat Liquid tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question from Esports GG.
Hello, this is addressed to the team. Last time at Last Chance qualifiers, you guys played Liquid very close. The games were divided by 2 rounds each. How do you guys react to those close game situations, especially now that you're in Champions?
Of course, yeah, so me answering. So I think we grow as a team from last time. I think we were like known for our choking even before like choking against 100 Thieves, and we also showed it a little bit against Envy. But because we grown as a team from all these months playing with each other, these like close results don't really matter to us. We always know when to take a pause and when to take deep breaths and cope with the pressure. So we are right now at a very good mental state. This doesn't matter for us if we are like even losing 12-8. We know that if teams can do it against us, we can also come back against them. So that's basically my answer.
Thank you. Next question from Upcomer.
Hi, there's been a couple issues with rulings over the course of the tournament with the illegal cypher cam and the jet box jump. Overall, what's been your experience with the Valorant officials, referees? How have they been over the course of the tournament?
I feel like Riot has actually done an extremely good job during this tournament. I feel like their decisions have been fair. They've been public about it. We've had even some Corona cases where they set up like an extremely good environment, like in our hotel where we played from. And I feel like at the end of the day, Riot has done like a really good job during this tournament with all the difficulties you could say they've had.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question from One Tap Valorant.
This question is to anyone from the team. Cloud9 Zeppa said in a press conference that Europe is not that far ahead from NA as a region. What are your thoughts on that statement?
So I think that NA, underperforming on this event was just a fluke, and I feel like his words were right. Like, NA showed us like really close Valorant. They had some pretty like strong, hard groups. Every group got basically like upset, but I feel like, just Sentinels losing very close match against KRÜ, and KRÜ is right now is in semifinals. So that was really unfortunate for them. The other teams also had very like close games, losing in draws. So I feel like even though like EMEA had a stronger result, and you can call them like call us better, as a region right now. I feel like, in the future, if NA teams will just start working a little bit harder than they are right now, like all the streaming and stuff, they will be as strong as us right now, and everything will be all right for them. I think, like I said before, it was just a fluke that they underperformed so hard and they flopped.
Yeah, thank you.
Esports GG, did you have another question?
Yes, I did. Hello again. So this one's for CNED and Zeke. You guys are in the top 10 in most metrics at this event. What has allowed you guys to perform so well and find so many kills?
CNED, go first.
I'm trying to do my job. I'm not caring about killing people. I'm just going first, and if I kill, I kill. If I don't, my team, I trust my teammates to kill them.
Yeah, I already said in multiple interviews that for me it's just like not caring about the environment I'm playing in. I feel like there's no difference with my performance playing on LAN or online. I always just like forget. I get into the zone on stage and I just forget about everything that's happening around me. I don't look at my opponents as are in front of me. I don't just I empty my mind and set zero expectations for myself. I just play like I want, and also I really care deeply about the team. When everyone is performing really good, I also perform much better. So that's how I basically just work with the situation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question from One Esports.
Hi, this question is for CNED. Before your match against Team Secret, Dubstep shared that you were the reason why he plays Jet. How do you think he played in the tournament, knowing that his playstyle was probably inspired by your own?
He played well. He's a really good player. I really appreciate he said that, because I think he's really a humble player as well, because no one going to say something like that. I don't know. I don't know what to answer this question.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question from Upcomer.
Question for anyone. So obviously Liquid's still undefeated since they added Nivera. As pro players, does it give you kind of extra fuel to the fire to kind of break that streak, or does it give you extra satisfaction if you're able to beat them and also end that streak?
Maybe we could answer it together, guys, and instead of just one.
Starkly answer this.
Starks
Yeah.
go.
Okay. Okay, I will start. Honestly, I don't think we look at our opponents like who they are. We don't think who we play against. We just play to do our job, and we don't really care about their win streak. We had our own win streak before and we lose it. So we're just gonna play our game and show what we're capable of. Thank you.
True. And also we are very much motivated to, you know, become the first team that beats the brothers in the game. So, you know, that makes us work harder and be even more hype for the match.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everything is kind of boiling down to the last moments. I feel like, you know, like Team Liquid, in my opinion, is going to be, you know, like kind of the final game. I feel like Liquid and us are the strongest two teams here. So it will be extremely satisfying to, of course, break their win streak. And after that, I feel like the game in finals would be, we would have a lot more like fuel and confidence going in there as well. So it's really a win-win situation right now, whatever happens against Liquid, but we're there to break down the what is it, their streak.
What? What are we waiting for?
All right, next question from One Tap Valorant.
This question is to all of you. A lot of the regions have stepped up since Reykjavik. Did you expect that going into this tournament?
No.
What was the
No.
fifth part of the
No, not at all. I feel like it's a very pleasant surprise that every region just stepped up so much, and I think it's very healthy for the game that you know, the other regions are also competitive, even though it's like the first Valorant year. So maybe like in upcoming years, the like EU and NA will grow stronger. But I really hope it will be the other way, and the other regions will still be very much competitive and can get those nice results, you know, against the more known teams or like the better regions that people say.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question from Upcomer.
Acend, you mentioned the possibility of like a World Cup type of tournament in the future. So question for you or for anyone really, if you could put together an all-star team from each individual country and pitted them against each other, which do you think the strongest country would be?
Of course, I'm from Turkey, and I would say Turkish. I mean, there's a lot of talented players, but as I said, they can't be a team. Actually, if they can be a team, I think they are really strong region. I put first Turkey, then maybe Brazil, I think. Second, 3 Poland.
no, Poland, not Poland.
Like obviously, I think the first regions would be like USA, you know, not regions but countries like USA, Canada, probably like Brazil, even Russia, you know, all these teams, because they already have like super strong players that were playing together and have some like you know, synergy, that's the word. I don't think Poland we would stand really much chance against some other countries, but yeah, I cannot really rank any. Just Belgium seems really nice with Scream, Nivera, David P, you know, all these players. Except I don't know the other last two.
All I want to say, if a World Cup would ever come, is that like we have so many powerhouse players in different teams in EU, so we've been just saving our power for now. So if 5 Finns would come together in a World Cup, there would be absolutely no chance for the rest of the world. I'm sorry.
Got it. Finland #1. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Next question from Esports GG.
Hello, this question's addressed to Bone Cold. You guys have played teams from other regions in the group stages and first round of playoffs. How does it feel calling a game against a team from your own region as compared to the other regions?
I feel like when you play against teams from other regions, you really want to focus on just playing like how you normally do in practice and play your own game. I feel like when you play against like teams from your own region, I feel like there's there's a factor of like maybe overthinking or like just over analyzing like the enemies. But I feel like I've learned my lesson from the like previous games and tournaments. I feel like we're just gonna go out there and just play our own game against Liquid, against anybody else, and I'm 100% sure that that's going to be more than enough to beat any team in the world.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any further questions? Esports CG, did you have another question?
No, sorry.
Okay, no worries. All righty. Well, that will conclude our scrum for today. Please stand by for the next press conference, which will begin shortly. Thank you so much, Acend, for joining us, and please stand up to take a group photo.
Thank you for your time, guys.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the semifinalist press conference. We are joined by Team Liquid. So press had the option to ask questions live or submit them ahead of the event. We will begin with pre-submitted questions. First question goes to Scream from Absolute Legends. How do you think your matchup playstyle wise against Acend, and what are some of the things that make Acend one of the best teams in the world?
Well, hi everybody. Obviously, Acend is one of the most skilled team in the world. I think. I mean, obviously they're from EMEA, so like everybody is so skilled in EMEA, and I think it's gonna be a lot about the aim duels in this game. And yeah, we won against them already, and I think we can do it again.
Thank you. Next question comes from the Spike GG for Yampi. Does having defeated Acend only a month ago increase the team's morale going into this matchup?
Yeah, I think so. You know, we want to beat them twice, and I heard they want to get the revenge. So I think we have a huge confidence going into the match, and of course deny their revenge. And I think we're gonna win the match.
All right, thank you. Next question goes to Scream. Your coach Sliggy talked on Twitter about maybe now people will give Sentinels some slack. The real group of death is now known. Did you guys expect KRÜ Esports to beat Sentinels and Fnatic? How do you think the matchup against Gambit will play out?
Yeah, I think KRÜ did really good at this event. I think people underestimate them because they haven't done really good in events, but in practice at least they were one of the best team we played against, and yeah, they proved it to everyone. You know, they can do it on LAN as well, and I'm really happy for them. And you know, it would be nice to reach the finals for them, but I think they did so good already. So you know, they can be proud, and I still think Gambit is the better team, but you know, you never know what can happen in this game.
Thank you. Next question, also for Scream from Upcomer. What's one thing you'd like to see changed in Valorant Champions Tour in 2022?
Well, it's been a good year so far. We had a nice circuit, you know, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. I think we've been loving it, and hopefully stay the same, and maybe even more tournaments. You know, why not? That's what we love to do, and I think all the boys are gonna agree with me. You know, we definitely want more tournaments, and yeah.
And crowd.
And obviously, if the COVID goes well, hopefully we get the crowd as well next year. That's everyone the biggest wish, I think, in the industry.
Thank you. Next question goes to Yampi. Which team would you prefer having in the grand finals if you are to win your semifinals matchup?
I would absolutely love to play against Gambit, especially for me when we last faced them in EMEA. I didn't play my best matches, and I think it's something in my mind that I want to get to revenge and prove myself that we were actually the better team, and it was just off day from us. So I would absolutely love to play against Gambit.
Thank you. This next question goes to anyone on Team Liquid from Run It Back. Having beaten KRÜ Esports at Masters Reykjavik and earlier here at Champions, what do you think of this sudden fire that has been lit under the LATAM team?
I'm going to respond to this one. I just think everyone else is really bad, and that's probably why they're doing so good. I don't think anyone else is as good as us at the moment. So yeah, I think we're asserting our dominance, and everyone else is just sort of lacking behind. And yeah, it's kind of showing that KRÜ is beating everyone.
All right, thank you. Next question goes to Scream. What's one thing that you liked in the 2021 VCT season that you'd like to see again in 2022?
The champion skins. I think, as I said earlier, Riot did a really good job this year, especially the COVID situation. You know, it's a tough situation for everybody, and they managed to handle it pretty good, especially at this event. So, yeah, I couldn't be happier for this year, and I just hope next year it gets even better. That's it.
Thank you. Next question is also for Scream from One Esports. After your win versus Cloud9, you said that North American teams are predictable. In what ways do you think they were predictable?
It was a kind of a bad joke, but I think like compared to the EMEA teams, we have a different understanding of the game, and I just think we work harder. You know, like that's all I think. Honestly, like NA team has all their chances. They had the chances to go in the finals of the tournament. They just messed up. You know, they lost. You know, so there's not much to say. I think they're still one of the best region in the world. So.
Thank you. Last pre-submitted question, also for Scream from One Esports. With 3 EMEA teams in the semifinals, how do you think your region's understanding of the Valorant Pro meta differ from that of other regions?
I just think we go tactically more in depth in our tactics, in our strategies, and we have amazing coach as well that helps us fix our mistakes. But I do think the individual level is different. Like everybody in EMEA, like we have a really high headshot percentage, especially in this team. Like I don't think anyone can can be as strong as us when it comes to this. So it's really hard for people to face us. That's it.
Thank you. We will now open the floor for questions. Please use the Zoom hand raise feature if you'd like to ask a question, and we will call on you when it is your turn. Please address your question to a player or players. First question from Run It Back.
Hey, how's it going, guys? This question is for Nivera. I just want to know, getting on the stage after being in quarantine and everything like that, obviously you kind of have that under your belt now. How are you feeling now that you've gotten that out of the way and are back on the stage for the semifinals?
Yeah, the first couple of matches was really tough, I would say, because I got tested positive when I came here in Germany. Like I was negative before joining, so I was really surprised. And yeah, when I got positive, I was really sad, and I haven't seen my mates for almost like 3 weeks because the Red Bull was online basically. So that was hard for me in my room alone. But thankfully, my team is just amazing, and yeah, they were so excited when we played, and I felt like they were here, but I was in my room. And yeah, when I met them and in the stage, like it's my first match on stage, and yeah, that was just amazing. Can't explain the emotions.
Thank you. Next question from One Tap Valorant.
This question is to any of you. C9 Zepa said that EU is not that ahead of NA. What are your thoughts on that?
I think they're fairly close, but I think it's just like the mental aspect where they focus more on like other aspects of competitiveness, but basically like they stream a bit more, they focus more on like their own brand. So I guess that kind of like hurts into how much time they put into the game. But I still think they grind a lot, and I don't think the skill difference is that far. I think once they get a bit more like depth into their play style, like they can definitely like be like at the top again. Honestly think like for next year, like it's anyone's game. Like everyone's going to be now, like everyone has witnessed like what can happen if you put a lot of time into the game, especially with these smaller regions upsetting like bigger teams and bigger regions. So I think it's just going to motivate everyone, and then everyone's going to be like at the same playing level. So it's going to be like really competitive for like every region.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question from Upcomer.
Hey guys, congrats on reaching the semis. I just want to know, a question to the team. I just want to know what it would mean to you guys to be the first ever Valorant Champions winners.
What's going?
All the boys.
It will be amazing.
Anything else? He's got a fair point. No, I think all of us know it'll be like the biggest thing, because obviously we didn't get to the Masters 3 in Berlin, and we knew that was obviously like a big thing for us. We knew we could beat Gambit. We knew that like we sort of lost to ourselves in that. So obviously if we come here now, maybe face them in the finals and then win, it's going to mean like everything for the boys. I'm pretty sure everyone will say the same thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you. Next question from Esports GG.
Hello, guys. This one is addressed towards Scream. You've picked Reyna over Jet on multiple maps over the last few days. Is there any reason for that switch?
Yeah, I think it's personal. It's more a comfortable pick for me, and I think I'm one of the best Reyna in the world, and of course I played really bad with Jet in the start of this event, so I needed some confidence back, and it worked out. So I'm glad my teammates trusted me on this as well, and my coach as well. So really happy it turned out in our favor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Run it back. Did you have another question?
Yes. This question is for either the brothers Or for Link, we have a user in our YouTube stream who just wants to ask you guys about the brother buff and the bald buff. Do you guys kind of listen to those superstitions, or do those things kind of give you confidence at all? Like, what are your thoughts on those?
You can start if you want to.
The bald buff doesn't work for some. That's all I'm gonna say. Maybe I don't call out any names. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. It doesn't work for everybody, but if anyone wants to join, I'm down. Don't leave me by myself. Thank you.
I definitely think the ball buff is a thing, you know, but as he said, it's only by one person. So yeah, but about the brother buff, when we brought in my brother in and he came in from CS, he has the experience he had with Vitality, and I think it helps us a lot. And we brought him only for domination, and so far, it's going really well, and I'm really proud of this. So we're gonna try to continue.
Yeah, and I'm gonna add, as my brother said, I played like a couple of months with Vitality, and thanks to them, like we won like 3 tournaments in a row. So I knew a bit the notion of victory and stuff like that. So I could bring something to the team, and yeah, it's just crazy to come here and like just playing 2 months with my team and already in semi-final of the biggest tournament of Valorant. Like it literally means a lot for me. And yeah, I think we're really confident. We're really confident for the future and for winning this tournament for sure.
Thank you. Next question from One Tap Valorant.
Any of you can answer this question. You beat KRÜ 2-0 at the opening of the tournament. Does that give you any confidence if you potentially face them in the finals?
Yeah, as I said, like KRÜ is the best team we played in practice. So I think when we saw that they beat Fnatic, they beat Sentinels in best of threes, like they play with so much confidence. Yeah, obviously it gives us a lot of confidence because we beat them pretty hard. And even though I think they didn't play their level against us, they have like some mental block, but somehow, it would be nice to play them in the final again. And yeah, I think we're gonna win again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question from Upcomer.
This question is for Scream. Cruz Klaus said you were his kind of inspiration in getting into FPS and esports. Have you had the chance to talk to him out of game yet? And in general, what is it like to know that you're inspiring like other generations of esports players to kind of get into the game?
Yeah, it feels weird, man. To be honest, after we changed game, I have been playing CS for over 10 years, and I know all this kind of all the people here in Valorant are pretty young, so I know they got to watch me on CS at least, and they respect me. So it's a great feeling, man. It's a great feeling, but it's a different game. So I gotta win the respect as well in this game, and that's what I'm gonna do with my team.
Thank you.
One tap.
Thank you. Next question from Cian Allen.
Hi, it's from Alan, and it's a problem for maybe Sokas, Link, and Scream. So you three are like in this team from the first roster, but this team roster has been changing in this like half a year. And what do you think that these changes have bring to this team? And what do you think this change of roster? Do you have a really clear aim that what you want to achieve? And is it working? That's all.
I think the main thing that changed is we brought in like a lot of experience from high level like CS players. Like Nabil said, like winning his tournaments with Vitality, he knows how to he's experienced winning before. Yampi with like Ents, and basically them just being unbelievable CS players helps like coming into this in the first place. I think that's like the biggest thing. And we said like if it's working, I mean, we're here now. We're in the semi-finals of champions. So yeah, I think it's definitely working for now. But we want to do this again next year, and next year, and next year. We want to like create a legacy with this team and Team Liquid. So yeah, I think bringing in these two definitely helped us get into the goal. But we ain't done yet.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question from Valorant Spa.
Hello, everyone. I would like to ask you if you believe that the 9-3 curse is real. Like, do you believe it's more related to the skill of your team, or do you believe in this superstition?
I'm just going to say something, yeah. I tweeted about the 9-3 curse literally a week after beta or something. So I was the original. I'm taking credit for that one. So yeah, no, 9-3 curse is definitely a thing. Sometimes. Sometimes.
I was gonna say like I think a lot of time now people when they get to 9-3 they kind of realize it and they realize it's like a superstition, like a meme now. So sometimes it can play like into the mental aspect where they just start thinking, oh crap, like it's the 9-3 like half right now. Like you never know what's gonna happen. Like if we lose the pistol, then we could lose the game. It wasn't so prevalent before, but I guess he's the OG about it. But and I think it's definitely coming to like play that could affect some people's minds, but I don't think it's like too important. Like if you kind of don't realize it, then it doesn't really matter. Like the 9-3 curse.
Yeah, it's more like a meme, right? It's like
yeah,
a meme or like people have to be stronger mentally, right? You're winning 9-3, you most likely have won the game. So I mean, it's not over until it's over. But Jumpy, I know you're kind of superstitious. So what do you have to say about this?
Yeah, I'm very superstitious, but I don't believe in that kind of stuff. I have other things, but yeah, winners don't fear to lose.
Yeah,
oh, man.
I want to add something. Like as Sulka said, it became really a mental thing. Like we don't really believe on the 9-3 curse, but because everyone is talking about this and stuff, you just like when you're winning 9-3, you're just thinking, okay, the curse is starting. What are we gonna do? You know. So I think it's just a mental thing, and it's not really a real thing.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Oh. Next question from Esports GG.
Hello. So at Last Chance qualifiers, you guys played Acend pretty close. I think each map was divided by 2 rounds. Now that the stakes are much higher at Champions, how do you guys think you'll react to close games?
You know, we've played them before quite a few times. It's always been close matches, but I think when it comes to like LAN events, I feel like we've got like a lot of experience compared to them. I think we feel like a lot more comfortable on stage and like when the pressure is on. I feel like also like we're on this like winning streak. We kind of feel like really dominant and unstoppable, and it gives us this like confidence and that yeah, we basically don't fear to lose. And I feel like it's going to be a good game, but I believe we'll come on top.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question from One Tap Valorant.
Again, any of you can answer this question. As we speak, Sassy has left Team Vikings and is now with free agent. What are your thoughts on that? And would you like to see him on an EMEA team?
I've been talking to Sassy a couple of times, and you know he's a great guy and he's an insane player. I think one of the best in Brazil. So what I wish for is that he stays in Brazil and he builds up a really strong team with some Brazilian teams, because I think Brazil region has a really good potential to be one of the best regions. So yeah, that's all I wish for. But and I wish him good luck, of course.
He's a bull brother.
Thank you.
Thank you. Esports GG.
Last one here. So this is addressed to everyone. What has Sliggy done as coach and you guys as a team to make to have Nivera fit in on this roster?
I think I'm gonna respond this because it affects me obviously. Yeah, so Sliggy asked me like what agents and stuff like this that I like to play, and I just told him I can try to play everything because like in CS I always learned like to play every role, because if you play every role you can fit in any team basically. So yeah, I just told him just put whatever you want, just do whatever you want with me and I'm gonna fit. So initially like I had some maps with Jet, but I just took Cryptic's role, so it will be more easy for everyone else, I guess. That's why like we have really good chemistry also, because they were used to play with Cryptics and I didn't move, I didn't change a lot. So yeah, but it could be a good thing for the future. Maybe I could play Duelist, or you don't know what's gonna happen, but yeah, that's why I was fitting really well, and yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question from Alan.
Hi, this is a question for Nivera. So we all know that you left CS:GO scene because some kind of rules about 6-man roster. What do you think of 6-man roster in CS:GO and in Valorant? So especially in Valorant, do you think it's a viable way to like expand your toolkit tag or hero pool maybe? Thank you.
Yeah. The problem I had is that, I was really hungry. I really wanted to play a lot. So as a 6 player, I only played like 2-3 maps. It was not enough for me because I really wanted to play. And I think we need to find like it could be working on the future, but I don't know if it will be working with young players, because young players are really, they really want to play a lot, and it's hard to just keep them like watching the others and stuff like this. But I think it could be working definitely in the future, and we just need to find the best thing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question from Upcomer.
Hey guys, in the last press conference with Acend, we talked about the possibility of a World Cup in Valorant in the future. I just want to know, between Finland, Belgium, and the UK or England, if you could make a superstar team with just players from that country, who would win between those 3 countries?
God save the Queen.
No, all I'm gonna say is there's still no. I was about to say there's still 4 UK players in Champions, but
That's toxic.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I didn't mean to say that, but yeah, no, UK would probably win, if I'm honest. I can't even think of 5 Belgian players.
Is there 5 Belgian players? I don't know, man. But I think me and my brother can 2v5 anyone. So
Yeah, I think actually Finland finally has a really good chance. I think we don't have a good teams in Finland, but I think there's like loads of individual players in like top teams. So I think we could have pretty strong team with me, Bone Cold, Derek, and just build 2 more players around that. So I think it will be good.
Polvi.
Yeah, Polvi, maybe Hoodie in that also.
Swami.
I think Suomi would win.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Upcomer, did you have another question?
Jumpy CSGO from Team Liquid. Link, how does it feel to play on Bind Hookah with Judge most of the rounds on City side?
It's one of the best things ever to come to Valorant. I think it's really game-changing and meta-breaking, and I don't think anyone can do it quite like me. So yeah, thank you, Jumpy CSGO, for the question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to add on this question. Nice to meet you, first of all, Jumpy CSGO. And yeah, the Josh Hookah, I think it became like a meme with Link, because I think he's like the only one who started this. So, and it's pretty strong, and we see a lot of teams playing with the Judge, like close angles, like hookah, long, and a lot of stuff. So I think they took a lot of inspiration from Link, and I think that's really good.
yeah, thanks to our coach Sliggy, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Judge Connoisseur.
Shout out to our amazing coach, Sliggy the Piggy. He brings us the monster energy we all need on stage.
Shout out Eamon.
All right, Jumpy CSGO, do you have any other questions?
Ask the Soulcast, how has the change been between Sky and KO lately?
It's been pretty good. It's basically it's like a similar agent. I can pop flash for my teammates. I can pop flash for myself. I can do some stupid stuff. I can do some smart stuff. Best of both worlds with the agent, and I think he's going to be like one of the best agents. And after this tournament, especially, I think we're going to see like most teams playing KO on at least some maps, like for sure. I think it was just more of like a comfort thing. People weren't really like comfortable playing with KO, and they didn't really have too much time to integrate him into team comps. But now after this tournament, there's gonna be like a bigger break, so we'll definitely see more of KO. Blinded.
All right, that will conclude our scrum for today. Thank you so much for joining us, Team Liquid. And we will be back with the next press conference shortly. Team Liquid, please stand up for a group photo.
Yeah, thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you for your time, guys.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Champions Berlin semifinalist press conference. We are joined by Gambit. Press had the option to ask questions live or submit them ahead of the event. We will begin with a few pre-submitted questions. First question comes from the Spike GG for Redgar. How did your team react to KRÜ's win against Fnatic yesterday?
We already like to both like situations where the Fnatic is winning and the KRÜ. We know that they can beat them, so we are well prepared for them. And it doesn't matter who we're gonna face. For us, it was nothing because we are ready for both of them.
Thank you. Next question goes to Gambit Nats from Alerta Geek. Considering that only one of 7 teams between North Americans and Brazilians made it to playoffs, do you think that minor regions like Latin America deserve more spots in the upcoming tournaments, especially now with the performance of KRÜ?
I guess right now it's a good system that every region has a spot, and right now it's enough for everyone. So everybody, the best teams, is showing the best performance on the tournament, and right now the system is good. And I think they don't have to change anything, and spots is good.
Thank you. Next question comes from Run It Back to anyone on Gambit. It is safe to say KRÜ being your opponent here was unexpected, but they clearly put in the work. What are some things you may have seen from them that are impressive, and on the other hand, some things you feel you can take advantage of?
I will answer. I guess that they're playing like really aggressive. They're playing not like aggressive like we play versus Acend because they're playing too much aggressive, but KRÜ has a lot of combinations with their strategies and they're playing like more together. So I guess they will be hard opponents because if they continue doing aggressive moves, how to say it, if they're losing and they will continue using their aggressive strategy, they will be really serious opponents. So that was the main problem before, and now they fixed it. So it's gonna be interesting match.
Thank you. We will now open the floor for questions. Please use the Zoom hand raise feature if you would like to ask a question, and we will call on you when it is your turn. Please address your question to a player or players. First question from Alan.
Hi, Nats. So this is a question for Nats. And so you got a lot of fame during Master Berlin and a lot of attention, a lot of praise, but also a lot of pros will study your votes, especially like KRÜ or Liquid or Acend. So what do you think? Have you faced any other like more stress, more nerves, or like this kind of obstacles because you get a very good result in Master Berlin? Thank you.
Можно перевод? Can you repeat questions, please?
Okay. I will rephrase it. So you guys win the Master Berlin, and you get a very good result, and your performance is really outstanding. So it means you get a lot of attention. You get a lot of attention now. So during this process, because we have some time period between Master Berlin and now, so a lot of teams are starting you and your team, especially you. So do you think that kind of study, whatever it's voice, it's tag or whatever, do you think it makes you play more difficult during like group stage or during playoffs?
Yeah, now I understand the question. Yeah, every team is trying to prepare for us, for the team, and they're creating some interesting things against me because on Masters Berlin, I guess I was showing a good performance, and some teams, if you want to talk about group stage, they was trying to destroy my game style, and because of that, yeah, it's very difficult to do the same thing like I was doing before in Masters Berlin, and because of that, I have to change my game style to do some other things because right now everybody is ready for my default play style, and that's the main thing, I guess.
Thank you. Next question from One Tap Valorant.
Hi guys, Redgar, my question's to you. You mentioned on Twitter that you ran into KRÜ Esports in the practice room and had a great interaction. How important is such friendly environment in the Valorant pro scene?
I hope that in the future it will be like that kind of environment, like all the teams have these things, because we're here like a professional players and we should admire everybody, and we, in my opinion, should be like friendly out of the cameras and the other things. And it's good when you're friendly and you can open your mind to another teams. So yeah, I hope that in the future that will be like that kind of a community.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question from the Click.
Hey Gambit, congratulations on making it to the semifinals. My question goes out to anyone who would like to answer. What do you think of the current meta that teams have played thus far compared to from Masters Berlin, in which you guys took the trophy? How big of a difference has it been since back then?
Я сейчас даже реально тоже не знаю, что ответить тут.
Разница между прошлым Берлином.
Не, я понял вопрос. Я говорю, что я не знаю, что ответить.
Скажи, нет разницы.
I think there is no matter for us how we want to win. Like if you're comparing Masters Free Berlin or Champions, we still have the same goal. We want to win that. It's no matter what tournament it is.
Thank you. Next question from Esports GG.
Hello, guys. So this one's addressed towards the entire team. What are your thoughts on Keznit's performance, and has there been any discussion on how to limit him for the upcoming game?
Перформанс Казина. Который на рейне.
Я знаю, я просто хочу сейчас жестко сказать, но не буду лучше. Скажи, какая разница. We will see his performance versus us.
Okay, thank you. Next question from Run It Back.
Hi, the question is for Defo. We see you now with the most first kills out of anyone left in the tournament, and along with that is the second most first deaths aside from Nagzit on KRÜ. So what are some things from the semifinals and possibly the grand finals that you're going to do to ensure you keep up that first kill rate and maybe lower the first deaths and make that impact in the server?
У тебя на турнире первый показатель по энтри-фрагам и второй показатель по смертям. Только один игрок умер меньше. Как ты будешь играть, чтобы эти показатели остались на том же уровне или стали даже лучше?
Я ничего не буду менять, буду играть, как играл, и, ну, чтобы это выйдет.
I will keep the same game style, and I think that everything is going to be good. That's it. That's the answer.
Thank you. Next question from Valorant Spa.
Hello, everyone. This question goes for Nats. On a previous press conference, I asked you about the upcoming Sentinel that was coming to the game. You mentioned in that occasion that you didn't think it was necessary for the game. What are your thoughts now related to Chamber now that he's out and he is playable?
So if Riot's gonna add some other Sentinel, it's gonna be better for me, 100%. So I can play whatever I want. But if you're gonna talk about the competitive style, I'm gonna say that it's anyway a lot of Sentinels right now. If we're gonna talk about the Killjoy Cypher, we're gonna talk about the Viper as well. He's gonna be a Sentinel. So in my opinion, right now they don't have to add any other Sentinels. Yeah, Chamber is going to be like a Sentinel as well, but I think the game style of that agent is going to be a bit different than the others. I'm going to say that for me, I want to see one more Sentinel, but I guess it's enough right now. Maybe they have to do any other roles and add any other agents.
Thank you. Next question from Alan.
Hi, and this is a question for everyone. So in the before conference, just before, Liquid told something about screens. So Scream said that during their scrims with every team in during champions, KRÜ is one of the best opponents. Actually, he said KRÜ is the strongest opponent they have faced in scrims. So, what do you think of this this talking, and or which team do you think that is the strongest opponents during your scrims? Thank you.
I want to say maybe for Liquid it was the strongest opponents, but we played versus KRÜ. They're really good, but in my opinion, not the strongest one. And the screen doesn't show that you're really good on the LAN performance too. So you don't have to think that you're better if you win someone on scrims. It shows like literally a few times. But in my opinion, you should be like, the strongest team is the team that won the tournament. That's the simple rule.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question from the click.
Should you guys defeat KRÜ, you will take on the winner of Acend Team Liquid. And so what are your thoughts? This question goes out to Redgar. What are your thoughts on facing either of those two teams, and who would you like to face in the finals?
We faced like Liquid and Acend literally like a lot of times, and we know each other really good. So they're prepared for us and we're prepared for them. For me, it doesn't matter really, because if we're gonna face Acend, I want to rematch them for that bind. If we face the Liquid, I want to show that we are much better right now when we played versus them on qualifications on Master Brilliance 3. So that's the only points.
Thank you. Next question from Upcomer.
Hey guys, question for anyone. You guys have a pretty unique comp on Fracture compared to what other teams are running on the map. How did you put together that comp?
Так сказали мне, так я же отвечал.
На Бриме почему-то.
You want to know why I'm playing on Brim or what?
Why you're playing Brim? Why nobody's playing Viper? Just what makes you think this comp is so strong for you guys?
I don't know. There's a team decision. Like we just talk about it and thought that this pick is pretty good for us, and we started to practice more on that. But if you want to know, we tested so much picks on that map, and that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions in the room? Yes, Upcomer.
You guys obviously won Masters 3 Berlin, and now you have a chance to win Champions. I think most people would agree that if you win Champions, this is kind of the first year of competitive Valorant belongs to Gambit. What would it mean to you guys to kind of be the best team in the first ever year of competitive Valorant?
I guess it will be like the honor for us if we win the tournament, because first of all, it's the first tournament of this game, like this one, this big tournament. And the second one, we worked really hard through all this year, and we'll prove everyone and ourselves too that if you're working hard, it pays off. So yeah, it will be awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question from the click.
This question goes out to anyone who would like to answer. Recently, in the past few hours, Riot announced a change that will be instituted on Yoru, one of the agents that has rarely been used thus far in the two international events. I believe it was only picked once in Masters Berlin, and hasn't been picked at all thus far in Champions. And so, what are your thoughts on the upcoming changes to Yoru?
I think that it's the right direction to change the agents that are not using that well in the matchmaking in game and on the professional scene too. So yeah, if they gonna use a lot of agents, and they they will remake the agents that not are using that much, it will be much better, because they will change the meta. They can change the old things, and it's good that the game is always evolving, not like on the yeah, we have that agent, nobody is playing it, so just forget about them. No, they're changing it, and it's really good in my opinion.
Thank you. Next question from Run It Back.
Hi, this question's for whoever wants to answer it. We've seen a handful of people, such as Mixwell from G2, kind of come out and say, obviously probably in a trolling way though, that it is harder to win some of the EMEA events like the qualifiers than it might be to win champions with all of these other regions. What do you think of the state of EMEA going forward, and how these other regions might face up in the future when it comes to, the strength from the region you guys come from?
Они не хотят? Что там про регионы? То, что
Да,
EMEA
как будет в
EMEA
следующем году, как EMEA, типа... Никс изначально, помнишь, когда потроллил в Твиттере?
Но он сказал,
Типа
что
то, что-
выиграть отборы на
Ну, короче, EMEA
EMEA
region проще,
да,
сложнее,
сложнее, чем играть на
So about the EMEA region, yes, as we can see at the champions right now, EMEA is 3 teams from EMEA is semifinals. Every EMEA team is showing great performance on the tournaments. But as we can see, and if we're gonna compare the Masters Berlin and Champions, we can see that other regions, other teams, the all international Valorant is growing up. So I guess next season, next tournament is going to be much harder, and you may have to work more harder than the all region working right now, because, like I said before, as we can see to the X10 and any other opponents, KRÜ, all of them just playing really good, and they can easily win the tournaments. So they just need more experience, and they will be the best teams.
Thank you. Next question from The Click.
Yes, this question goes out to Chronicle. We previously discussed about the potential of EMEA being split into 3 separate regions, thus being EU, CIS, and Turkey, and whether you wanted it to happen, and you said no, since by staying together, it gives teams within each region of EMEA, EU, CIS, Turkey the opportunity to play against each other. And so I'd like to know if you still believe that EMEA should remain together, or should it be somewhat split up for the future?
I think Riot should not separate our EMEA region to 3 different regions, because it's really good for more minor regions like CIS or Turkey, because we're growing up like with Europe, and we can see that on the Masters 2 qualifiers, the minor regions, if you compare it to Europe, was not really that good to qualify to Reykjavik. On Masters 3 Berlin, we already have four teams, 4 EMEA teams, and 2 of them was Turkey and CS. And I only can say that EMEA should not be separated, because it's because if we really split the regions, I think CIS region will be dead.
Thank you. Are there any other questions in the room? Okay, that concludes our scrum for today. Thank you very much, Gambit, for joining us, and thank you everyone as well. Please stand by for the next press conference, which will begin shortly. Gambit, please stand up for a few group photos. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our scrum. This is our final one for today, or sorry, press conference. Final one for today, and we are joined by KRÜ Esports. Press had the option to ask questions live or submit them ahead of the event. We will begin with some pre-submitted questions. First question goes to Keznit from Absolute Legends. How do you think you match up with Gambit in terms of playstyle, and what would it mean for you and your team to reach the final and potentially face Liquid in it?
Keznit, ¿cómo te sientes con el estilo de juego de Gambit en términos generales? ¿Y qué significaría para ti y para el equipo el poder llegar a la final y potencialmente enfrentarse en contra de Team Liquid?
¿El estilo de juego?
Sí,
no sé, tienen un juego bastante impredecible porque el Nats juega demasiado solo y ojalá que se nos dé llegar a la final porque a mí no me gusta hablar antes de jugar el otro partido.
It's actually a really unpredictable playstyle because of Nat's team play, and I hope that we can reach the final because I don't like to talk before the game, so that's what's gonna happen.
Thank you. Next question comes from Principal Valorant for Nagzit. Although we have already beaten strong teams like Sentinels and Fnatic, now comes the last champion, Gambit. How have you been preparing for all these games where you were seen as the underdog?
Nos preparamos para jugar contra cualquier equipo siempre igual. Tratamos de jugar nuestro juego, que es sentirnos confiados en nosotros y adaptarnos al rival lo más rápido posible y intentar ganarles.
We prepare ourselves similarly to any team we face. We try to play our own game, that is basically have trust in ourselves and adapt to the enemy as soon as possible.
Thank you. Next question goes to any KRÜ player from Valorant Spa. What do you feel knowing that many other regions like Brazil, Spain, Japan are supporting the team? Is it too much pressure or does it motivate you to keep going?
El que quiera contestarlo.
Creo que nos motiva a todos de que nos esté apoyando no solamente Latinoamérica, sino que Brasil y todo el público a la hispana es muy importante para nosotros y nos motiva a seguir creciendo y llegar a la final.
I think it's more of a motivation to have all these teams and all these regions behind us and supporting us because it's really about filling us as a motivation to get to the finals.
Thank you. Next question comes from AFK Gaming for anyone on KRÜ. Despite being such a new organization, you have produced tremendous results. What went behind forming such a formidable team in just 1 year?
¿Quién la quiere contestar? Es para cualquiera. Que a pesar de que sean una organización nueva, han producido tremendos resultados. ¿Qué ha pasado detrás de escena para que creen un equipo tan formidable en tan solo un año?
Bueno, yo creo que...
Acércate al micrófono.
Yo creo que es como la demostración del trabajo arduo durante todo un año, con solo pequeños cambios en el roster, pero con el mismo equipo de trabajo y el mismo core, que fue lo que terminó dando estos resultados.
I think it's the demonstration of hard work that's been paying off the whole year with small changes that have affected our team play, but it's regardless the same core team that has been here since the beginning, and that's what we've been doing.
Thank you. Next question goes to anyone on KRÜ. Where do you see the LATAM region in 2022's Valorant circuit?
¿Cómo ven la región de Latinoamérica en el circuito competitivo del 2022?
Bueno, yo creo que ya quedó como demostrado que tenemos el nivel para enfrentarnos a los mejores, 100%, y espero que cada vez más equipos puedan demostrar lo mismo.
I think we've already proven that we are capable of facing against the best teams in the world, and I hope that other teams in the region can prove the same.
Thank you. Next question comes from Run It Back for anyone on KRÜ. The passion from coach owner is unmatched. What can you say about his impact on the team, whether with in-game strategies, mental composure, or just feeding you guys his energy?
La pasión de Onur como coach es imprescindible. ¿Qué pueden decir sobre el impacto que tiene él en el equipo? Tanto sus estrategias dentro del juego, su compostura mental y también cómo los lidera con su energía. Cualquiera puede contestar.
Creo que Onur es una parte muy importante del equipo. Si él no estuviera hoy acá con nosotros como coach, no estaríamos donde estamos, ni hubiéramos conseguido lo que conseguimos y lo que podemos todavía conseguir. Nada, es una de las piezas más importantes del equipo, creo yo, y el corazón del equipo en sí.
I think Onur is a key part in our team. Without him as a coach, we wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't have achieved what we achieved so far. And he's one of the most important pieces in our team and basically like the heart of the team.
Thank you. Next question comes from the Spike GG for anyone on KRÜ. In an interview with the Spike GG, Mazzino mentioned that nervousness led to a bad decision in some games. What do you think is the best way to control the stress from affecting your performance?
En otra entrevista, Massino dijo que lo que más les ha costado a veces es el nerviosismo de tomar malas decisiones dentro de los partidos. ¿Cómo creen que es la mejor manera para poder controlar el estrés y que no les afecte en su performance? Cualquiera puede contestar.
Yo creo que es algo que hemos ido progresando durante todo el año y la mejor manera es calmándonos dentro del juego entre nosotros y es como lo más eficaz cuando se empiezan a subir las comunicaciones como muy altas y todo eso, se empieza a notar la ansiedad y los nervios y ahí es cuando vienen pausas para calmarnos o en el freestyle decimos, dale, juguemos tranquilo ahora, tomemos nuestro tiempo. Y eso yo creo que el calmarnos entre nosotros es lo más importante.
I think it's something that we've have actually like progressed during the year, and the best way that we found out is basically calming ourselves between our same members of the team throughout the game. When we start to feel anxious or the nervousness, we basically have those pauses for us to calm down, and that frees time in order to take a deep breath and just play our own game.
Thank you. The final pre-submitted question goes to Mazzino. What do you think of Gambit, your next rivals?
Obviamente fueron los actuales campeones, se podría decir. Pero como siempre digo, no importa quién esté al frente, vamos a dar lo mejor e intentar ganar.
They're usually strong because they were like the M3 winners and basically the reigning champions. But as I always say, it doesn't matter who we're facing against. It's just go ahead and face them and try to win.
Thank you. We will now open the floor for questions. Please use the Zoom hand raise feature if you'd like to ask a question, and we will call on you when it is your turn. Please address your question to a player or players. First question from Alan.
Hey guys, so this is a question for Naxit. And so during your team's match with Sentinels, you have quite a slow start in map 1, but you finish the map 3 in quite a very good state. What do you think that you have changed through that course of that match? And what do you think that is the reason that you have a very slow start? Thank you.
Creo que entré demasiado ansioso y nervioso el primer mapa y luego de terminarlo el equipo me calmó y me alentó a seguir jugando y creo que eso fue lo que me hizo como volver a poder entrar en el juego.
It's basically that I started the first map really anxious, but at the end of the first, my team calmed me down. They really cheered me up in order to keep playing my own game, and that's what worked for me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question from Sons of Chaos LATAM.
Can I ask in Spanish?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Esta pregunta va para cualquiera que guste contestar y es esta. Si las cosas se dieran de esta manera, y se enfrentaran a la final contra Team Liquid, ¿qué tan ansiosos están de esta revancha y qué mensaje les gustaría mandarles?
Esa revancha creo que nos importa tanto como lo que fue el día de ayer jugar contra Fnatic, porque es, es la misma sensación de cuando jugamos contra Fnatic en Islandia, que perdimos, que no supimos controlar, nos jugó mucho la ansiedad en contra, y demostrarlo hoy que pudimos dar un 180 y mostrar otra cara, es una sensación imposible, casi imposible de sentir, y nada, obviamente empezamos el torneo jugando contra Liquid y no fue un muy buen performance de parte nuestra. Creo que ese no fue el KRÜ después de que jugó contra Sentinel, que jugó contra Fnatic, jugó contra Furia. Nada, estoy ansioso por jugar esa revancha y no tengo nada que decir, solo respeto por el otro equipo.
So basically, the question was, if things turn out this way and you get to face Team Liquid in the finals, how anxious are you about that same match, and what message could you give them? What Klaus answered was that revenge is really important to us as much as it was facing Fnatic yesterday, because of the same sensation that we had in Iceland when we lost against Fnatic in our opening match, where we couldn't show our real game. And now, like we did yesterday, we did a 180 turn and we were able to show them the real KRÜ. And that's an indescribable feeling that we have right now. And it would be like the same against Team Liquid, because we had a rough start against them with a lot of nervousness in that first match, and we didn't really show our true potential and our true level that we showed against Sentinels or Fnatic these past couple of days. So if we end up facing them, we only have respect for that team and we wish to play the best game.
Thank you. Next question from Run It Back.
Hi, this question is for anyone who wants to answer it except Keznit. We've seen Keznit, towards the top of the stats, in a lot of categories throughout the tournament with, ACS, kills, maximum kills in a game. I just want to know what the rest of you guys think of his performance throughout Champions and how an impactful player like that helps you guys get the energy you need to play at a high level too.
Bueno, el progreso de Keznit durante el año ha sido increíble. Es el mejor jugador para la región, yo creo, para todos, y la importancia que ha ido tomando en el equipo como un líder muy importante y ha sido clave en este torneo.
So basically, Keznit's progress during the year has been amazing. He's probably the best team for our region, and his work as a team player and basically like a leader inside the team has been what's gotten us to here today. And he's just been a really important key part of the team.
Thank you. Next question from Alerta Geek.
Hola chicos. Bueno, la verdad es que mi pregunta me gustaría escucharlo a todos, porque resulta que han llegado sumamente lejos, han logrado vencer a dos de los equipos favoritos del torneo, lograron vencer a Sentinels, lograron vencer a Fnatic, cuando sobre todo mucha gente estaba dudando de lo que podían demostrar, y con su rendimiento han demostrado no solamente que en LATAM hay habilidad, sino que ustedes realmente son de los mejores jugadores que hay en el mundo. Así que me gustaría escucharlos, qué opinan, cómo se sienten, algún mensaje que quieran mandar, porque esto es un momento que, a decir verdad, es histórico para los representantes de LAS en los esports.
Nada, este momento es muy importante para nosotros, y no solo como individualmente ni grupalmente, sino que para toda la región, para toda Latinoamérica, para todo el habla hispana. Es un momento histórico, pudimos romper esa barrera de los esports, y nada, estoy muy agradecido por el apoyo de todos en todo momento, en las buenas, en las malas, y nada, muchas gracias.
The question was that after getting this far, beating two of the favorite teams, Sentinels, Fnatic, what, despite many people actually doubting KRÜ Esports, like random, like team play, they have really showed that they have really showed LATAM's real level, and they've really showed that they're one of the best in the world. How do they feel after this and making this historic moment for Latin American esports? And what Klaus said is that this moment is really important, not only individually, but also as a team and as a region as a whole, and even for all the Hispan-speaking persons, that they were able to beat finally that wall of Latin American esports, and that he's really grateful for everyone that has been supporting them throughout all this journey and throughout all this year.
Thank you. Next question from Comic Geek CL.
Hola, hola, ¿se me escucha?
Sí.
Perfecto. Primero que todo, felicitar a los chicos. Lo que han logrado a nivel eSport en Latinoamérica es una locura, de verdad. Yo sigo muchos años los eSports de LATAM y lo que han logrado es genial. Y mi pregunta es para Klaus. Quería consultarte por el factor NATS. Acaba de decir que los equipos ya están acostumbrados a sus default y que probablemente tiene que cambiar muchas cosas. Entonces quería consultarte eso, sobre su Viper, sobre que van ellos de a dos en el humo de Viper, lo sacan, lo ponen más adelante y así. ¿Cómo se contrarresta eso? ¿Cómo piensan contrarrestarlo? ¿O piensan, vamos, lo matamos y jugamos nuestro juego? Gracias.
Yo creo que Nats es un jugador de los top tier del campeonato ahora mismo, pero creo que lo que hizo ganar a Gambit la vez pasada en el VST pasado fue que nadie se esperaba el estilo de juego de Gambit, el estilo de juego de Nats. Fue algo que sorprendió a muchos equipos y fue innovador en su momento. Y creo que hoy en día cualquier equipo que juega contra Gambit se espera un gameplay bastante parecido de parte de Nats y no creo que sea tan efectivo como lo fue en ese momento.
The question was that Nats in a previous interview said that the teams are already like kind of used to his own play style, and how was KRÜ Esports going to counter that same play style. What Klaus says was that Nats is one of the top tier players in this tournament, but what he achieved with Gambit last time was mainly because they didn't expect their team play. They were really surprising and innovative in their own sense. But nowadays, every team they're facing against are really expecting that same gameplay, and he doesn't really think that it's going to be as effective as it was before.
Thank you. Next question from The Click.
Hello. Primeramente, felicidades por llegar a los semifinales. Going back to English, this question goes out to Keznit. Unlike the majority of the team that started off the VCT with KRÜ, you joined in April. You came off of Weigers, Argentina, and joined and joined there. So, what is it like for you to mesh with the team from joining from Weigers to KRÜ? What has the process been like for you to mesh with them, and how have you grew since then?
A diferencia de la mayoría de jugadores que están ahorita en KRÜ, tú entraste en abril después de estar con Weigers Argentina. ¿Cómo ha sido para ti el proceso de acoplarte e unirte al equipo durante todo este año?
Unirme a los chicos fue algo que me sorprendió por cómo ellos trabajaban, porque yo nunca había trabajado así como personalmente, full profesionalmente, y acomodarme al tiempo que yo estuve lesionado, al conocerlo a ellos, fue algo también que siento que me ayudó para conocerlo antes. Y no, lo mejor fue, fue ese tiempo que yo estuve inactivo y ellos me recibieron ahí como sexto jugador.
Joining KRÜ Esports was something really surprising for me because of the way that the team was already working. I have never actually had experience working in such a professional manner, and to be able to accommodate to them and to get to know them while I was injured in Masters 2 was something that really helped me to meet them earlier. And that time that I was inactive, and they really took me in as their sixth player, and they really showed me how to play. I think that was really key in order for me to really like join this team.
Thank you. Next question from Valorant Spa.
Hello, I will make my question in Spanish. Hola chicos, bueno, extender mis felicitaciones igual que mis colegas, decirles que son nuestro orgullo y que los apoyamos hasta el final, así que felicitaciones por llegar a esta instancia. Mi pregunta va para, bueno, el que quiera responder. Vimos en el Last Chance Qualifier cómo el equipo, el roster ex-Australs actual Leviatán casi clasifica también a este Champions. ¿Qué creen ustedes? ¿Que los otros equipos están al nivel quizás de un Champions? ¿Los chicos demostraron o quizás se vieron perjudicados por el formato y por eso no pudieron llegar?
Muchas gracias por las felicitaciones. Yo creo que como ellos han jugado una vez presencial, yo creo que son inexperientes. Y más que eso, ya llegar a la final de un Last Chance un valor grandísimo que tiene, y que no lo tomen como una derrota, sino que lo tomen como una experiencia, y que estoy seguro que el nivel con que tienen ellos lo pueden demostrar en la siguiente.
The question was that we saw in the Last Chance Qualifier from Latin America that the ex-Australs team, now Leviathan, they almost classified during the tournament. What do they think that they lacked in that same level in order to like get here? Or if it was the format that really ended up affecting them and not being able to get here? What Keznit said was, I believe that they're really good players, but they only had experience in one like LAN event. They really lack the experience, but getting to a Last Chance Qualifier final is something huge. And they will keep on building upon that level, and they will keep on improving. So they have to stay with the good parts of the Last Chance Qualifier.
Thank you. Next question goes to Alan.
So this is a question for Klaus. You used to be an Overwatch pro player, Overwatch veteran, actually. So what do you think that your before career, pro career in Overwatch has brought you into this title, and what do you think that is working and what is not working? Thank you.
Creo que haber empezado tan joven en los esports no solo en el Overwatch, sino que desde que empecé jugando al League of Legends desde los 14 años, que después me puse a jugar otros shooters, siempre fue algo que fui aprendiendo entre los años, y el Overwatch fue el paso antes de ser profesional. Como hoy en día se aprende un montonazo a cómo mantenerme mentalmente, qué aprendizajes en eventos presenciales, un montonazo de cosas que hoy siento que gracias a eso estoy acá por eso.
The answer was, I believe that starting really young in esports, even before Overwatch, playing League of Legends since I was 14, and then some other shooters have actually taught me a lot throughout these years. And especially Overwatch, it was like the step before me becoming fully professional. I learned a lot during that time. I learned to be like mentally stable. I learned to I gained experience in LAN events and many other things that have actually like built up the path for me to get here today.
Thank you. Next question from Esports GG.
Hello. So this one's addressed to the entire team or anyone who wants to answer. You guys have found a lot of success on Haven during the Champions run. Are you feeling confident in your map pool against the best teams in the world?
For sure.
Okay, thank you. Next question from the click.
Yes, this question goes to Dozit. Should you guys defeat Gambit and advance to the grand finals, you will face off against either the winner of Acend and Team Liquid. So what are your thoughts on both of those teams? And how confident are you guys into facing either team in the finals should you get there?
Si ganan en contra de Gambit el día de mañana, se estarán enfrentando en la gran final, ya sea contra Team Liquid o contra Acend. ¿Cómo te sientes respecto a estos dos equipos y su propio estilo de juego?
Bueno, yo creo si que se da la posibilidad de llegar a la final, yo creo que estamos totalmente preparados, que anteriores veces no se pudo materializar lo que nosotros hacíamos en las prácticas, pero en cuanto a lo que logramos demostrar, y yo creo que si es que llegamos a la final hay muchas chances de poder ganar. Obviamente hay que estudiar al contrincante y poder hacer una estrategia en contra de ellos, pero sí, yo creo que podemos demostrar mucho y hay posibilidades grandes de ganar.
So he said that if it's given that they get to the finals, they're really prepared. But before anything, they really couldn't like perform as well as they did in scrims in the main event, in the main stage. But now they are able to do it. And if they get to the finals, he thinks that they have a really high chances of being able to win, because they obviously have to study the opponent, whoever is they're facing against, and to really generate a specific strategy against them. But they have really showed what they're capable of doing, and they're really capable of winning.
Thank you. Alan, did you have another question?
Yep. So this question goes to Keznit. So you have been spending some time as full-time streamer in KRÜ Esports, actually. So what do you think that is the major difference between full-time streaming and go as a pro player? Also, do you think it is, how do you balance between like streaming and playing pro games? That's my question.
Llevas tiempo siendo streamer para KRÜ Esports, ¿y qué sientes que es la como principal diferencia entre ser streamer de tiempo completo y jugador profesional? Y que además, ¿cómo es que logras balancear esas dos partes? Tu parte como streamer y tu parte como profesional.
La verdad que streamer siempre ha sido una parte de mi sueño, aparte de competir, y siempre me ha gustado mezclar esas dos cosas, y obviamente si es que uno tiene las ganas y se da el tiempo para las dos cosas, lo puede hacer, y me he sentido que me ha dado fruto y yo espero seguir por mucho más tiempo así.
Actually, being a streamer has always been like part of my dream, besides competing. But I feel like I've been really enjoying mixing these both things. And it's basically like if you have like the efforts and if you want it to happen, you can perfectly balance both things. And I'm grateful and I'm hopeful that I can still do it for many, many years to come.
Thank you.
Thank you. We will take 3 final questions. First question from Comic Geek CL.
Hola de nuevo. Mi pregunta es un poco out of context. Es para Keznit. Me gustaría saber cuántos besos le daría Keznit a Massino si pasan a la final.
No sé, yo creo que él ahora me tiene que dar a mí.
Responde, sí. Gracias.
The question was an out of context question that said, how many kisses will Keznit give Massino if they get to the finals? And Keznit answered that he thinks that it's now Messina the one that has to give in to him.
Nice. Okay, next question from the click.
This question goes out to everyone who wants to answer. Have you guys been in contact with Sergio Agüero in light of the team's success thus far in the tournament?
Sí, el Sergio Agüero ha estado siguiéndonos. Prácticamente es como si estuviera acá con nosotros, está todo el día mandándonos mensajes, escribiéndonos en Discord, alentando al equipo. Hemos tenido charlas con él, videollamadas, de todo. Así que ha estado aquí con nosotros.
Yeah, basically, Sergio Agüero, the Kun, has been with us basically like if he was here. He is sending us a lot of messages. He's really supporting the team and cheering us over. And we even have had like phone calls and video calls with him in order to be able. And it's like he was really here with us.
Thank you. Final question from Sons of Chaos LATAM.
Hola de nuevo, chicos, y felicidades. Por cierto, no les dije la vez pasada. Esa pregunta va para cualquiera de ustedes que guste contestar. El día de hoy, ustedes están manejando como un meta diferente al que se está viendo en Europa o en Asia. ¿Creen que con los resultados que se están dando estén generando un meta diferente en el cual se puedan basar nuevos equipos?
No creo que estemos generando un meta nuevo. De hecho, nosotros nos gusta mucho ver a las regiones de afuera y tratar de mezclar las cosas. No jugar como un meta tan establecido y tan predecible.
The question was that nowadays KRÜ Esports is having a different meta play style than that of EMEA or Asia. Do they think that the results they've generated this far will basically make a new meta for other regions and other teams? And what Naxid answered was that he doesn't really think that they're generating a new meta, that it's just that they like a lot to watch other regions and to kind of mix it up with all of the components that those regions have. And he thinks that they don't really like to play a specific play style because that becomes predictable and they like to mix it up every time.
Thank you. Muchas gracias, KRÜ Esports. This concludes the Champions Semifinalist press conference. Tune in tomorrow when Champions resumes with Acend versus Team Liquid and Gambit versus KRÜ. Please, if you will join us for a group picture in the front. Thank you very much, everyone.
Si pueden posar para la fotito.